taken with the 28th. Pick back in 2008. The 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward position. And then for the Miami Heat, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4 slot. Outside Bosh. And the jam by Udonis Haslem. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Chalmers passes to Haslam. No one near him. Misses off the right iron.
You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
I'm not sure what he was thinking about there. That's a strange foul.
Who knows? Maybe he just wanted to take a break for a minute.
Chalmers with it. Leonard picks him up. And Chalmers kicks to Haslam. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. And for Bosh, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls. And, you know, the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller. And Bosh can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
So it's the Spurs now. 4-point game. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Duncan dishes to Leonard. Drills the three-pointer.
You know, on defense, even on an inbounds play, you can't leave three-point shooters alone on the perimeter. They paid for it there. You know, when something works for you, you stay with it. The Heat saw after the 2012 finals that small ball was very effective for them. You can see why they chose to do that, given how hard it is to find a power forward that can match up with LeBron. Makes good sense. Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
San Antonio calls timeout, and this match is really what make an NBA offense go at times. Not only can Miami overpower you, Steve, you know, with their sheer talent at times, but if you're trying to guard a perimeter play with a big, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, some people still see small ball as a gimmick, but you know, for Miami, it's different because you've got LeBron James playing the power forward. So it's not really small ball. He can rebound, he can defend, he can do everything. And so the Heat become a nightmare to guard at the other end. and you can rarely take advantage of them offensively.
Here's LeBron after the made shot from Green. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
On defense, the Spurs, they trail by 3, and the whistle blows. It'll be on Thiago Splitter. That's his first foul. Here's Chalmers with the lead pass, and Chris Bosh with the slam. Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket, and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Greg Popovich had a few moments to share with me. Of course, the conversation veered to the challenge of defending LeBron James, and he said there's not a lot of good options with him. He can really do it all. I think you just have to try and stay in front of him, and if he gets in close, you have to bring help. And guys, we've seen LeBron really force the issue as far as getting into the lane. We'll see how they do.
Thanks again, Doris. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Heat.
And they're doing a fantastic job of finding the open man and getting easy looks.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
Well, coming off a title last year, you always wonder if a team will maybe relax a little bit. They usually won't admit to it, but Chris Bosh readily said it at times that his team had a difficult time lighting that fire again.
Miami leading by 6. And here we go. Chalmers' shot is no good.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Leonard, no luck. Let me go back to what Bosh said. I think that is true for every team, Clark, that comes off a championship, but they usually don't admit it like Bosh did.
Well, you know what? Once you've won it all, there is a bit of a relief and a little malaise that may settle over you, but I've always respected Bosh's candor. He's a guy who doesn't bite his tongue, and he articulates what he feels, and I think it's impressive that they fought back to the finals once more, because that shows they eventually did recapture that fire.
Boris Diaw's checked in for Splitter.
Well, LeBron is far enough along now in his career where you can start to project some of his career stats, and they're staggering. I mean, he could end up the first player ever to end up with 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, and 10,000 rebounds. I mean, that's remarkable.
That's a very low percentage shot. Not good basketball at all. One he probably should have passed on.
They keep going down low with the ball, and it results in points. They're having their way in the paint.
And it's resulted in a big early lead, too.
Here's Diaw. San Antonio again missing. And when you talk about LeBron's ability to pile up stats, whether it's scoring, rebound, or passing, he can do it all.
He really can. He's dominant in every facet of the game, and you love his durability and his stamina. He is a stat sheet stuffer supreme, and that's the highest level of stat sheet stuffing you can have, and he's at the pinnacle of the peak.
Well said. Chalmers against Parker. Now, here's Chalmers. D right on him, and Boris Diaw picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For Miami, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. And the first one drops.
And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason. You know, swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals. And then, of course, were seconds away from another championship banner.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Duncan. Ginobili comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Bellinelli in for Daniel Green. Here's Cole. We've got 1:18 left to play in the first quarter. Well, getting back to the Spurs, they look better and better as they went deeper into the playoffs. Clark, Heat were thought to be the heavy favorites at the start of the NBA postseason. But when they met in the finals, thoughts on who would win, I think, were pretty much split.
Yeah, and eventually, you know, this was one heck of a series because the Spurs not only had experience and talent, but they had multiple options offensively and did such a terrific job sharing the ball. They took the Miami Heat to the limit, but at the end of the day, it came down to LeBron James and Dwayne Wade rising to the challenge.
It's tipped. Diao with the steal. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year. You know,